Hi, I'm Gareth Marlowe. On Monday I went to the Design Museum in London to see a Stanley Kubrick exhibition. It was absolutely amazing, and I would really recommend that you go if you're in any way, shape or form a fan of his films, and if you're not, why the hell are you not? So brilliant stuff from 2001, from A Clockwork Orange, but one of the things that struck me was this stuff from The Shining. And so they showed the typescript that says all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and what I hadn't realised was that stuff had all been translated into French and Italian and to German and to Spanish, and the same thing was done, differently in those for those different languages. Just amazing Kubrick attention to detail. Anyway, all work and no play does make Gareth a dull boy. So this is me really signing out for a couple of weeks because I'm going off on holiday. And when you work for yourself, it's just you. Everything closes down. So I guess the first thing to say is that if you're a client, you're going to get out of office email from me if you try and email me. But also to say, I'm coming off everything. LinkedIn closing down access to my email and to social networks just to try and get a proper break and reset before I come back for the summer. So the other thing to say is therefore that's going to be the last of these video posts, certainly for a few weeks. And I wanted to say thank you at this point to a few people. So at the start of the year I decided that I wanted to do a bit more public speaking, or to resume some public speaking, which is something that I hadn't done for 3 years since I last left the world of full-time permanent employment. So I approached Mark Littleward from Business and Software and asked if he would be willing to allow me to speak at the event in April, which he very kindly did, and I did, and it was absolutely terrifying, but also seemed to go quite well. And as a result, Andy Kroll from Brighton Ruby, who was in the audience at that point, saw the talk. He asked me to come and give the same talk at his conference, which was about a month ago now. So first thing is really thank you to Mark and to Andy for allowing me to speak at their conferences. It was a really great experience, terrifying, but a really great experience. Aligned to that, the other person I want to say thank you on the speaking side of things to is to John Torrance. So John is a communications coach who's based here in Cambridge, absolutely brilliant guy, and he was so helpful to help me pull apart this kind of rough idea of thoughts that I had for giving a presentation and to help me put it back together into something which actually made sense. He was also really brilliant at just helping me to deal with a bunch of the anxiety and nerves that were associated with not having spoken in public for a long time. So John, thank you so much for that, and thumbs up recommendation for me for John. And the final thanks is to Keir Finlow Bates. So Keir's a mate of mine of 20 plus years, and we lived in Cambridge in the same city for a whole while. He now lives in Finland, but we've stayed in touch directly and through mutual friends. And a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, I guess, he sent me an email and asked why I wasn't considering doing this video blogging thing. And I made a bunch of excuses, and I said I wasn't ready, and I said it wasn't going to be good enough, and so on and so forth. And Keir really just did two things. One is he kind of handed me a really lightweight process to get these things done, and just showed that for 10-15 minutes investment a day, I could put some thoughts out there in a way that people could engage with. And the second thing is he gave me a massive kick up the arse to actually just JFDI. So I came back, I did one, I wasn't very happy with it, I was going to throw it away, I was going to do one a week, and Keir said, no, ship it, put it out there, that's how you're going to learn and get better. And interestingly, that was the very first piece that I did about Zoom, which has ironically been the most popular one so far. So although when I look back at the videos I really cringe, I ramble on a bit, I say and like and sort of and kind of so many times I have to edit those things out of the subtitles. I think the first few videos I said the word problem conservatively about 1 million times. But I do feel like I've enjoyed this process, and that I have got a little tiny bit better at it as I've gone along. And the most important thing is I've really valued the interaction that I've had with people on here as a consequence of having done it. So I fully intend to resume when I get back from my holidays in a few weeks' time. And to that end, it would be great to hear from you if you have enjoyed these videos. Tell me what you would like to see more of, because I can sort of concentrate on thinking about those things when I get back. But yeah, that's it for now. That's me. I've been Gareth, and I will see you in a few weeks' time. Cheers.